Hey guys, I'm John Setzler. Welcome back to the Kamado Joe cooking channel. Today we're going to fire up our classic Joe and we're going to make some fire roasted tomato bisque. So let's get started. Okay, we're going to set up the Kamado Joe classic here. I've built a fire in the firebox and we're going to set both halves of the heat deflector in the low position to set up for some indirect cooking. And I'm going to set both halves of the grill grate in the upper position, and we're going to bring the temperature in the grill up to about 400 degrees. In order to bring the classic up to 400, I'm going to leave the bottom vent fully open, and I'm going to leave the top vent fully open until we get up to about 300, and then I'm going to start closing it down so we can settle in, you know, somewhere between 375 and 400 degrees here. Okay guys, we're going to start putting together this tomato bisque. I've got one of my round cake pans, or deep dish pizza pans, or whatever you might want to call this. You can use a sheet pan or whatever you like, but I've oiled the bottom of it with a little extra virgin olive oil. And we're going to start out in this pan. I've got about 5 small cloves of garlic that I've just peeled. We're going to put those in there. And I've got here about 8 or 9 vine ripened tomatoes, and we're just going to slice these guys in half and put them face down in this pan. And then I've got half of a white onion that I'm just going to slice fairly coarsely. It doesn't have to be too thick. And we're going to toss this in the pan as well. And then I've got one of these 1 pint containers of cherry tomatoes, and we're just going to dump those in here to the side, and we're going to put this on our grill. And we're going to fire roast these, like I said, between 375 and 400 degrees for 45 minutes to an hour. Okay guys, our grill's up to temp, so I'm going to crack the lid. We're going to put this pan of veggies on here, and like I said, we're going to let those roast 45 minutes to an hour, and then we'll be back. Okay guys, we've been going about 50 or 55 minutes. This is ready, so I'm going to take it off the grill and we're going to let that cool for about 20 minutes. Okay, after this has been cooling for about 20 minutes, I went ahead and pulled the skin off of these large tomatoes, and now we're going to transfer all that to my blender. But I've also got some oregano leaf and some basil leaf here that I've pulled out, and we're going to put that in the blender first, where it's down in the bottom, and then I'm going to get the rest of this in the blender. Okay, I've changed my mind. The juice that we have in the pan, I'm just going to leave that behind because we're going to be adding some chicken stock to this. So let's puree this stuff. And I'm just going to pulse this and puree it until it's as smooth as I can get it. And if you like yours thicker and chunkier, you just don't puree it quite as much. Okay, now we're going to take our puree from the blender, and I'm just going to put it in this braising pan that I have, and I'm going to add a little bit of chicken stock to that until I get a consistency that I like. And you can end up adding anywhere from a cup to a cup and a half here, depending on what you like. So you're just going to want to, you know, kind of eyeball this. I've just now put about a cup in it, and I'm probably going to put about another half a cup. Maybe just a little more. I'm ending up here with about a cup and a half, so that's about where I like it. And then I'm going to add another thing that I like to put in mine. I'm going to grate in just a little bit of Parmesan cheese. Not much. I'd say, I don't even think we're going to add a full ounce. Maybe a half to 3/4 of an ounce. And then I'm going to put in a little black pepper. And then we're just going to salt this to taste. I typically use about 1.5 teaspoons for this quantity, but it varies. So I'm going to start out with a little less than that, where I can tweak it if we need to. And I'm also going to put in, you know, a healthy pinch of granulated sugar to knock back some of the acidity on this. And I'm just going to stir this up, and then we're going to put it back on the grill to warm it up. I've basically just shut the vents on the grill because this grill's still hot enough for this. We're not cooking here. We're just going to warm this back up, and we're going to stir it occasionally, and we're going to taste it as we go to see if we need any more salt or if I want to tweak any of the other seasonings here. Okay guys, this stuff is warmed back up. It's perfect. I added just another pinch of salt for my taste, and this is ready to go. And I'm just going to finish this off with a splash of heavy cream. I'm going to stir that in until it's completely combined, and then we're going to take this bad boy off and have some lunch.